Hi, what up, YouTube? What up, Who That Nation? This is No Cap, No Filter Saints. I'm your host, Marley G. Back at y'all another one. I got B up in here. I got Marlon up in here. Saints, we just beat the Titans 34-26, man. It was looking like doom and gloom in the first half. Second half, they got it together. Them boys came out balling the second half. There was a lot of crazy plays that happened, but they came out with the win, bro. A lot of people right now in Who That Nation are excited about next year. They excited about the draft. We really ready to see how this gonna all develop. We really ready to see what we could, do off this momentum that we building late off in the season. That's 4 wins in a row. It's looking like it's gonna be five. Finishing the season at 7-10 compared to what we started off with. That's a damn hell of a win in my book. Um, I'm gonna go ahead on and get into it right now though. B, first of all, B, B, what's your beef with Chase Young sack celebration, bro? I like the little silly celebration. He just do this and he just be getting down, bro. I don't know. Them silly celebrations usually be the ones that be the most fun, especially when you in the house and y'all on like a little win streak. I think one of y'all got some win around y'all though. So
That,
probably,
that's me. That's
probably.
me, fam.
Oh, all
Let
right,
me get to a better area,
all
man.
right.
As far as Chase, man, like I don't know, bro. Just something up with that. I don't know. I just don't like it. He looked like he's doing like the Wizard of Oz. We represent the lollipop kids. Something, Willie Chalk from Willie Wonka and the Chalk. I don't know, bro. Just something about it. I just don't like it, bro. I don't like him being, 6'5", 6'6", and then turning into a munchkin when he do his little sack selling. I don't know. I just don't like it, bro. I feel like he can be more creative. That's all.
Yeah, I like it because I don't know. I think it's because we winning, and I think it's because he getting them sacks. Like he getting there. Like that dude right there. I owe that dude a huge apology, bro. Because when he got that contract, I was like, damn, bro, he gonna get hurt again. And man, he's showing up and he's showing out, bro. Like a lot of people are feeling like he's playing at an elite level right now. I'm talking about like one of the best ends in the whole league. So, that contract we gave him is looking like it's worth every penny. He's actually making plays when they counting. He's actually making plays when we need them. And one thing about it, he's actually hyping up the crowd. Like when he does this and he get the crowd hype, it seems like he make a sack or he disrupts a play. What you think about the play from Chase Young as of late, Marlon?
I think he's playing good. I think he's probably the best he played probably since his rookie year, if not better than that. I mean, he was one of those guys like when you in the draft process, like you put that. I'm not saying he's a generational player, but you put that G type tag on him. He was a number two pick. So, I mean, it didn't. It ended abruptly in Washington with the injury, and you just hoping that he can do it here. I mean, hell, he keep playing like this next year. He play like this next year, he's not seeing the last year of that contract. He gonna get another one. They're gonna just extend him again on something larger. So you want him to play like this. If the Saints find a way to steal like a legitimate defensive like a DN1 in free agency and got him for 13 million and you got him on a bargain contract like this 3 years, what 17 million a year for this play that he giving you right now, he playing more like a $30 million guy. So if we can, stuff like that is how you get out of like football hell and bad situations, being able to steal a young player with upside like him.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
I'm with Rainy, man. Like I think it's never been a matter of whether or not he had the talent to do it, because we always seen he had talent. It was his injury history and the fact that he never really played with his full motor. And that kind of started off the same way. I mean, what we seeing right now, we seeing him doing what, 11 games or something to that effect, or 8 sacks in 11 games, something to that. But let's not forget, he also missed 5 because of injuries. So, and this was supposed to be I think when they asked him or whatever, are you going to miss any significant time? He was like, I think, quote, hell no. And then he did. He missed like 5, 6 weeks. So I mean, it's never been about his talent. It's can he stay healthy, and does he have the motor that once he gets the money, will he keep going? And that's been a big question with Chase, man. And so far, right now, man, it might just be he just like playing in New Orleans. And it could be just that simple. He loves playing in New Orleans, loves being around the people he with, and he feel like he can be free here. So he don't really have that kind of pressure now. As Rainey said, a year from now, shit changes because that's when now you looking for now I'm playing for my next contract because I got 1 year left. So I think after next year, that's what's gonna tell the real story.
Like I think basically how I think it is, like say if he played a full season next year and he had planned for he get like 12 sacks. I think going into I think like you know how the Saints be doing signing those extensions before like the season start. I think like you'll go into training camp and I wouldn't be surprised if he got like a 3 year, 3 years like 28 million a year or 30 million a year if he have another season producing next year too. Cause he's still gonna be only 20 shit, he only gonna be 27 next year. So like he's still a relatively young player.
If he do that, Rainy, bro, he would have been earned it. And not to mention that, but
Yeah.
if he can kick that contract in 2027 when the Saints have that cap space, it's not even gonna hurt. So I wouldn't even mind seeing him get that money because he will have earned it at that point. That's like double digit, sack seasons and stuff like that, man. As a player, like you said, 27 years old, you lock him into a long term contract in 2027 when the money is right, man. I could definitely I could go with that. I can go, especially because most of the players that you'll have in that case, I'm guessing the only other player you're probably gonna look to extend a year early is Tyler Shuck. If that's what you're trying to do, man, then I could definitely see the Saints making a move like that.
Yeah.
All right, B. Early in the season, you did see, before anyone, you wouldn't be surprised if Tyler Shook start knocking off these wins because we playing, lower tier competition compared to what Rattler was facing early on in the year. But man, we can't deny that this man right here is actually making plays. Like these bombs he's throwing, he's putting it in a bread basket. He's out there fighting for every yard that he's getting. People are loving him. People thinking he got moxie. People thinking he got swag. Uh, it's without a doubt. Some people even feeling like they believing that he's going to be rookie of the year. Um, I just want you to tell me about how you feeling now about the state of the franchise right now with the keys right up in Shuck's hands, and then tell me what you thought about the game overall that you just watched today versus the Titans.
You starting with me, fam?
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, what I love about Tyler Shuck, man, I think the word I consistently like to use is poise. He's playing with an offensive line, bro, that we all know nowhere in the world if that's your franchise QB, he should be playing behind the offensive line that bad. That's an injury waiting to happen. Yet somehow, some way he's finding a way to do it. He has no real run game to be, talking about, especially, whether it be from an offensive line perspective or just the talent in the backfield. Like Estimate should not be, doing what he's doing right now, man. And before that, you had Devin Neal trying to do it as a fourth round pick. So I mean, he doesn't even have elite talent in the running back field. He has one wide receiver in which he may be able to count on, in Chris Olave, and you have a tight end in Jawan Johnson when you're losing everybody else behind Jawan, so that's forcing him to play more snaps and at his position. It's crazy what we're seeing from a rookie that. I'll tell you, no doubt, man. Early in the season, I didn't think he was ready. Now, maybe I may be justified in the fact that the Saints didn't play him. Maybe if the Saints would have played him earlier, it could have been a little bit different, barring the schedule in a few games. But other than that, man, now, I absolutely felt like I was wrong about him. I didn't think he would be ready to play year one. I definitely didn't think he'd be ready to play the first half of the season. But Tyler Shuck is the real deal, man. I didn't see franchise quarterback when I saw him, man. I kind of I made fun of his age and the way he played. And I still feel the same way. Don't get me wrong. I still feel like he's an old quarterback. Like let's not fool ourselves on the idea about his age. But the injury history with the age and the idea of me thinking it would take him next year to be ready, and then you get it a lot changed. And I'm willing to admit when I was wrong, man. Tyler Shuck is a franchise QB, and what the Saints have an opportunity to do now is build around the most important piece of the puzzle, which is their quarterback. And they have one.
Okay. Give me a little bit about what you thought about today's game overall. B. We're gonna just go to you, Marlon. Marlon is looking like that draft pick, bro. We could kiss that draft pick goodbye,
Oh,
at this
it's
point.
still gonna be a top 10 pick,
Oh
so
yeah,
that's
it's gonna be
fine.
it's gonna be a top 10, but as far as that top five we've been wanting and Shuck playing good, that's looking like it's probably out of reach.
Yeah.
Tell me what you thought about today's game. Tyler Shuck, bro, he's impressing me more and more. He's doing a lot out there with less, And shout out to Pittis, shout out to Austin Jr., shout out to Estimate. Them boys is doing their thing. They out there balling.
Oh yeah. It's just a hold on, let me see. It was just like a good game plan. Just watching like or just watching them bounce back. Like Because I ain't gonna lie, when it was 13-0, I was like, oh, this they might get whooped today. And just seeing them bounce back. Obviously, the chase play was big, but even with I'm trying to think of the play, the play with Pettis, um, where he almost scored a touchdown, but it got like punched out. Like that would have took them up what 27 to like 26 or 27 to 26, but they came back the next two drives and still did what they had to do and scored twice. So you just want to see them play with adversity and stuff like that in situations like that. So obviously we not out there with the most talented team. We probably got of the starters, not including the quarterback. You really just down. You was really just you. We basically down to Bulaga on one side, Banks on one side, Jawan, and then Chris Olave, and then even he kind of nicked up too with his back. But you just want to see those guys bounce back, and even if they win next week, they'll still possibly have a top 10 pick, which is still good. So they gonna like I said, they was gonna be in that 8 to 10, 8 to 11 range. So that's still a good spot to land and get a good player. You might be forced to take an offensive player in that range too. So that's just the type of stuff you want to see. But I thought it was a good game plan by Kellen. I thought Estime, um, shit, that's all you're looking for in one of these backup running backs. A guy to try to get on the team next year as a RB3, RB4. So I just thought everybody played good, and I seen what I had to see.
Yeah. Uh, bring Big back. You can hear me, B?
Yeah, bro, I can hear you, man. I keep losing signal for some reason. I think it's because
Tell him
somebody keep
what he
calling in.
probably need to do is he need to like delete all his internet history and then rejoin again. That's what I had to do because it had kicked me out too.
You
Yeah,
heard
it's
that,
got
B?
me up there. Yeah, it's got me up there twice. That's what I'm gonna do, man. I come back.
All right. Yeah, man, I'm really pleased from what I'm seeing. Estimate, Pettis. I like the hustle from all these dudes. Austin Jr. I'm loving the hustle. Like that's what I like to see when injuries take place. That's what I like to see when your roster is decimated with guys that went down as starters. I want to see guys who gonna hustle and really fight for it and just go out there and give it their all. And them three dudes, dog, I think Chris Olave and Jawan Johnson had huge games, but I think those three dudes they accounted for a huge part of today's win as well.
Yeah,
Alante Taylor, he was all over the place, man. He dropped four of them things. I think I think that when it comes to Alante, I think he gotta once he get that ball in his hand, he be so excited to get the pick and he just overthinking and he just be dropping it sometimes. I think he could get better with his hands, but for the most part, man, he's all over the place. 7 sacks as a cornerback, that's most in franchise history. So it's looking like that he making the case for himself to get that contract as well. Sanker, I think he had a pretty decent day today, but I think it was some plays where he let the ball get behind him. I think he could do better with that. Other than that, he was making some plays when it comes to tackling. Um, what else? Studzman, he was laying the smackdown on them boys out there. Dog. That dude could really hit, bro. Every time we have a big hit on the play, I just know it was Studzman hit the dude. And lo and behold, it showed his jersey on the back when he getting up from the play. Um, Other than that, man, Charlie Smith, he's knocking down these kicks. That first kick that he missed, I don't really just fault him on that because the wind was just blowing very hard. I forgot how much miles per hour it was blowing today, but I know it was blowing kind of hard. So, I don't really just fault him on that first miss, but the what he made like 2, 3 more after that,
yeah,
knocked it down.
256 yarders.
Knocked it down. 56 yarders, bro. In the cold, like, bro. That's a steal, bro. We got Charlie Smith on a steal, so I think if we could go into a new season with him, a new season with Shuck, add some draft picks to this nucleus, and have guys that's just role players, just contributing to the team, and Pettis and Austin Jr. and Estimate, we gonna be good. You back now, B?
Yeah, I think I'm good.
All right. Yeah, I was just trying to get your overall thoughts on today's game. Like, what you seen today's game that you have your takeaways with. B. I think think we lost. I think we lost him again. I don't know if B at work or something, or he in the mountains or something, but
Oh,
I think we lost him again. Um, shit. Let me go ahead on and ask you. What you thought about Alante's play today? Rainy, do you think
I
we
think
should
he
pay
had a
him?
few plays. I think he had a few plays early on that was like, man, what are you doing? But the second half, he played big. Again, I don't really know how his contract will be because I don't think I think he's gonna want to get outside money, but I think he's a slot corner. And I think like just looking at again, like I've been saying, they've been talking about this guy named that plays for the Niners, number two, named Diamador Lenore. It was like his contract could look like that. And that's 5 years, 90 million. I don't know if the Saints are gonna pay that. I don't believe the Saints will pay that price for him. Because
Yeah,
especially with a guy that's playing primarily in the slot, like they just not gonna do that.
you back B? I don't know, but shoot. As far as
I
Alante, I think as far as Alante, me personally, I would pay him. I think he bring a swag to the team. I think he bring a certain attitude to the team, and he be always in the middle of the locker room when it comes to us having these, victory celebrations in the locker room. Guys like that, bro, they bring culture to the team. So, me personally, I would pay him. I seen somebody ask that. Yes, I would pay him. Um, it was something else I wanted to ask y'all. Oh yeah, Shuck. When it comes to Shuck, do y'all think these sacks are more on they just have to get chemistry with Shuck because they don't really know if he's gonna be in the pocket, they don't know if he's gonna scramble, all that's gonna come with time. Do y'all think these sacks are more on him or more on the offensive line just being young and inexperienced? Because just like what his name was, Russell Wilson, they were saying a lot of them sacks that he was taking was on him. So do
It's
y'all think that's going on with Shuck or what?
it's like issue with the play style. So like Russell Wilson, the offensive line in Seattle was not. It wasn't like worse in the league. Bad. It was bad at times, but like his play style would contribute to like some of those sacks. So Shuck's play style is going to contribute to some of these sacks. Now, obviously, they didn't give up any sacks from the tackles today, but like the interior. Like the first play, the third play of the game with Jeffrey Simmons, like that was on the guard. So obviously they gotta fix the interior of the offensive line, get McCoy back healthy. I don't know if he's playing center or not, but he gonna be on the team. But obviously they gotta fix the interior offensive line. But some of these sacks are gonna be on the quarterback though.
Yeah.
think it's a little
I,
bit of both, bro. I think it's kind of on both Shuck and it's on the offense. Don't get me wrong, the offensive line is weak as hell, especially in the middle. But I think sometimes in order to be great, you got to be daring. I think sometimes Shuck go for the bigger play when he have the 7 yarder, but he can get the 17 yarder, so he go for it. And it's hard to argue with him because it pays off for him most of the time. So I mean, some of the sacks on him, some of it on the offensive line, but I think that'll get corrected in time. So
Since you back, B, I was just trying to get your thoughts on the game today specifically. Like, what's all your takeaways?
I love the well. First of all, let me say this, man. I was never in doubt that the Saints was gonna win that game, even in the first half. Because if we've seen all season that they've been a mostly second half team, so it was never in doubt to me that they would make some kind of run. And I also thought the Titans was gonna give the game away, so nothing ever made me feel like the Saints wouldn't win it. Most importantly, I just like the fact that the Saints didn't give up, man. It was a tough, gritty game. They lost players, man. You lose your tight end. He's a part of your game plan because it's not like you have a lot. You don't play Taysom pretty much at that running back position as much as you thought they would, considering that they really didn't have nobody because Estimate stepped up. So I mean, for me, man, I like the grit the Saints are showing, man. Like, and it looks like Kellen's starting to come into his bag a little bit with how he wants to do it when it comes to game adjustments and stuff like that, man. Like I like what I'm seeing from him, man. And it has a lot to do with the fact of the quality of competition, no doubt about that. But I mean, hell, that's how most people get good. You beat up on the scrubs until you can get to the Kings, and then you knock them down too because you have the confidence you need in playing them. I think if the Saints played the Rams or the Niners or one of the teams, the Patriots or one of the teams they saw early in the year, it'd be a completely different game this time around. Now, do I think the Saints would win? That's still up for debate. But I think the game would be closer and it'd be much, much more of a back and forth than it would be a one-sided game.
Yeah, man. I put a post on Twitter. B. A lot of people, was voting on it, and I was like, Had Shuck started at the beginning of the year, do y'all believe this team will win 10 plus games? A lot of people was like, no, that's a stretch, compared to a few people was saying, hell yeah, and especially if they feel like we'll win seven. Like if we win seven, we for sure probably will beat some of these other teams. But I was like, I don't really know if that'll be the case because you have the Cardinals game. If he played in the Cardinals game, I think that we probably still lose that game because he'll probably have them nerves going. And all them other teams that we was playing, they were playoff teams. The Bucks they fell off a cliff, but the Rams, he already played in that game. He lost. See how he look against the real good teams. And on top of that, you got the Seahawks. I definitely think we still lose that game no matter what. So it's just like I feel like no, we wouldn't win 10 plus games. How you feeling about that, B? Let me bring him onto the stage. Hold on. Oh damn, I think I pressed the wrong button. Okay. Yeah, how you feeling about that, B?
Ask me
I
again,
don't
Mo.
know. I was like, how do you think people feeling about we'd have won 10 plus games had Shuck been starting this whole season? Some people you can't even convince them we wouldn't win 10 games, especially if it's Shuck and Charlie Smith.
I mean, I, I,
What
I
is wrong
think
with
that's
this fucking thing?
I think it's subjective, man. I think it's a valid question to ask. But I also think those people forget how tough the beginning of the season was. I'm like, at the beginning of the season, Arizona was not a bad team. You know what I'm saying? 49ers not a bad team. Rams not a bad team. Patriots not a bad team. Bills not a bad team. You have to play all of those teams early in the season. So how you gonna sit down and say that would have been an automatic win for the Saints? Now some of the worst teams or the lesser teams that you played early in the year a little bit different, but it's not like the Saints were out of those games as well. So did you really lose those games because of a Spencer Rattler? I'm not sure. Could you have won those games because of a Tyler Shuck? I'm not sure. What I do know is that it's hindsight is always 2020. So it's easy to say, what if Tyler Shuck would have started and he would have looked bad and that would have broke his confidence?
Yeah, I say the same thing, man. It'll be a whole different ball game had somebody else like a quarterback started like that. That changed a whole bunch of ramifications of the game, and it could change for the better or the worse. But I think that Kellen Moore did right when it came to starting Spencer first, letting Shuck, be on the bench and just kind of get a feel for the NFL, see how it is to be a pro, get the playbook more, understanding of him. And I think it paid off by, having a lot of reps with Austin Jr. because now you seeing all those reps paying off right now. And, he already kind of familiar with Jawan Johnson. Um, Jawan Johnson she is looking like boy he's gonna be a New Orleans Saint for even more longer than we can imagine. But a lot of people are feeling like this dude is turning into the real deal because of a change in quarterback. Y'all starting to get sold on Jawan Johnson or not? I'm gonna ask you first, Marlon.
I mean, obviously I think he's playing to his contract. I'm not saying he's gonna be this great tight end, but the play this week, the play I say the last month, he's not dropping the ball, which is very critical because shit, I think he one of the league leaders in drops. He amongst the league leaders in drops this year with like 9 out of everybody, but he hasn't really dropped the ball the past, I say last 5 games. So at this point, like the play right now, this is you play like this. I do think the Saints need to add another young tight end, particularly a guy that can play in line. I look at one of the Georgia tight ends because they can block, and I think they're gonna be good receiving threats. But I think the Saints gonna be in a good spot. Damn, me monsters. My fault. But I think the Saints gonna be in a good spot. They just gotta like continue adding pieces to it. But I do think Jawan, he's paid like a $10 million tight end. This is kind of the type of play you expect. So I think he's playing pretty good.
What you got B on that Jawan Johnson?
Man, don't curse me like that, bro. Don't curse me like that, man. Like, I don't tell me Jawan Johnson might be around for years to come, bro, because I still feel like this is typical Jawan to me. Do he look better because of the play around him? Sure. Does he look, still look like a D student in a room full of F students? He sure do. Like, I'm not about to get excited behind Jawan Johnson because I'm used to this from Jawan Johnson. He plays well when there's nothing to play for. This has been his MO the whole time. He plays just well enough to get his next contract, and then when he get his next contract, he appears in spurts. Is he, does it look better now? Well, let's think of it this way: who else is gonna play like tight end? Who else is gonna get the targets? Foster Moreau hurt, Taysom Hill washed and hurt, and playing running back, and playing, still doing QB powers, and playing on special teams. So no, I'm not excited. Might as well play Taysom on defense at linebacker. Like, no, bro, I'm not getting excited behind what Juwan Johnson doing. Maybe it's just gonna be me. Maybe I'm gonna be a hater for life. Juwan Johnson could go out there, have 20 touchdowns and 1,000 yard season in the first 8 games, and I'm still gonna say I don't like him.
Yeah, and I ain't gonna lie, boy. Shuck be putting that shouldn't be putting the bread in his basket, boy. I'm talking about every time he coming across the middle, dog. It's like Shuck just get it right in his hands, avoiding all defenders, and I just be amazed at them type of passes. But now we got to get into Chris Olave. 8 catches, 119 yards, average 14.9 yards, one touchdown with his long was 60. 100 yards on the season already. We still got another game left. Has Chris Olave turned the corner? I'm gonna start with you first, Marlon. Has he turned the corner and made a lot of people that he is a wide receiver one? Has he made a believer out of the non-believers, Marlon?
I mean, it was. I always believe so. I mean, it's on fans at this point. At this point, fans gonna do what they want to do. Their opinion made up. I think he a good player. I think we just need to add more to it. I think that he'll be better next year too. Like playing 17 games. Hopefully,
JSN Art?
God. I don't know if I can do that. I think
Oh, okay.
JSN probably always. JSN always had the highest ceiling of Ohio State receivers, in my opinion. Just watching him play in college, but like I think he'll be a lot better next year. I just think I can see the chemistry starting to build with him and Shuck now. Like imagine if they got more guys at the wide receiver position where you don't have to potentially double him or bracket him, shit like that. Probably playing with more confidence because God willing, if nothing happened next week, this will be his first time playing a season. I think since like the COVID year where he didn't suffer a concussion and didn't suffer a concussion at any point in the season because even his last year in at Ohio State he did. So again, I just good player. The Saints gonna sign him. It's probably gonna be like the Jameson Williams, Devontae Smith contract with inflation. So probably close to like the 29 range. Obviously, the Saints still got to add more to the room, but he a good player, and the Saints need to keep him, especially now that they have a quarterback answer, at least for the time being.
All right, what you got to be on the Chris Olave?
I mean, people think I'm hard on Olave, bro. They think I'm just biased on it, but my opinion of Tyler Shuck changed. My opinion of Jawan Johnson has not. My opinion of Chris Olave has not. Chris Olave is not. He's still not a number one receiver, and they're gonna have to pay him like a number one wide receiver, and he's never gonna be that. Chris Olave is Lance. He's not Marcus Colston. He is Willie Snead. He's not Jimmy Graham. He is Brandon Cooks. He isn't Michael Thomas. And ain't nothing nobody gonna do gonna make him that. He gonna forever be just what he is. He's a good number two. He might be, in my opinion, he'd be a better number three because he's a number three to me now. But he's never gonna be one. And the reason why he's gonna be one is let's be honest about this. The game on the line. It's 4th and 1. You got 10 seconds left. You got to go down the field. You throw the ball up for grabs. If anybody over here realistically gonna tell me they believe Chris Olave gonna be the person that comes down with it, you a damn lie. And ain't nothing gonna tell me you ain't lying when you say that. You know it's a 50-50 chance, and that 50-50 chance, that means he could drop it too. Or he could, he's not gonna be physical enough to take the ball away from the DB if he have to. A number one wide receiver 100 out of 100 times, you believe gonna make that play. You believe a Dez Bryant, you believe the Megatron, you believe, these dudes will make that play. You don't believe Chris Olave gonna make that play. And I'm not saying it because of their height, I'm saying it because of their attitude. You didn't. There's no part of me that believe if that was Lance Moore would have let somebody out jump him or out physical him, even at his size. Not happening. So that's why I don't believe in Olave being the person that they're gonna have to pay him to be. Do I think he's much improved? Yes. Do I think next year he'll be even better? Hell yeah. Do I think the Saints should pay him close to $30 million? If they do, Mickey Loomis don't need to be drug tested. He need to have his ass beat daily.
Well, I do believe that he's getting better, when it comes to playing with Shucky and they building chemistry. I'm liking that he's going down the field more. I'm liking that the route tree is not as, you know, him making a catch and trying to have some type of yak and stuff like that. But I do feel better. I think because Marlon broke it down. I think he was saying that he's gonna be paid a wide receiver. The way they're gonna do his contract, Marlon had kind of broke it down better for me to be more at ease, because what the market is gonna be, he's gonna be like not even a top 10 wide receiver getting paid. So what you had said about the contract, Marlon, like when they
I
do pay him?
said I said it was gonna be like even with guys getting cut. I look at guys who gonna get paid this year. Like you got the JSNs, the Pukas, probably George Pickens, Drake London. Like he's still gonna come under that number because like with the concussion thing, they'll knock it down. Like he'll still be. It won't probably be a top. It's probably gonna be like a Terry McLaurin contract, which probably is like the 12th to 13th contract. 12 to 13 highest paid contract, like on a year to year basis. Like I don't think it's gonna be over 30 million or anything like that. I do think it's gonna be 28, 28, 29, but I don't think it's gonna be in that 30 range. But that's with the high level, like even a guy you consider a two, like a high level two gets like that type of money. So I think it's gonna be that.
So I don't know. I think that what they give him, as long as it's reasonable, I don't think a lot of people have too much of a problem with it. Plus, besides, we ain't got a lot of stars to pay anyway. Like we ain't really got like a lot of elite people. So we're gonna have to come up in there and we're gonna really have to hit on a draft regardless. So when it comes to Kellen Moore, bro, I gave my apologies to Brandon
Mhm.
Staley. He has definitely changed my mind. I'm comfortable with him being a defensive coordinator for years to come. I would like to see the players just, stay within this system, learn it even more, be able to teach new guys coming in it. And it's looking like guys like Cameron Jordan is comfortable. It's looking like Chase Young is comfortable. It's looking like Alante Taylor and Kool-Aid, they out there having fun. They making plays. I'm fine with Brandon Staley being around. Um, when it comes to Kellen Moore, I'm starting to come around to him too. But I think when it comes to riding the hot hand, he gotta stay with the hot hand and get out this Taysom thing because that one drive killer earlier, when Shuck was just moving the ball downfield and then we just put the ball in Taysom Hill hands and everybody know what's coming and it got shut down. Or even if it don't get shut down, it's a flag. Like, come on, man, we gotta stop with that, bro. How you feeling about that one particular play call when he just go when he just go against the grain and then just try to outsmart everybody instead of just riding with the hot hand. I'm gonna start with you first, Marlon.
Um, Hopefully we only got one more week left for the Taysom Hill thing. Gonna go to the Saints Hall of Fame. I no longer want to see it. I feel like they knew during the game at a certain point after it, you didn't really see a lot of them. Like just let the guys play. Even if I know we got a lot of backups playing and stuff like that. Just let them play. Stop ruining the rhythm, playing him and giving them snaps, just affecting shit in a negative way. So that's one thing he got to get away from, but he won't have no choice next year because Taysom won't be on this roster at all. Um, but I think for the most part, man, I'm starting to see the growth with Kellen. The saving point with him is the quarterback. Shuck was the guy he identified earlier. That's the QB that he wanted. So, no, if Shuck looks good, he looks good. I think he's starting to grow. I like that he tried to go for the kill at the game, like under the 2 minute mark. They didn't connect on the plays, but I like that. I like to see the growth. I think he'll be better next year. I think it's a lot of growing up to do on the job. I was hard on him. I'm still hard on him to a certain degree, but I can see the improvements.
All right, what you got, B?
Question again, fam?
Just Kellen Moore. Like, are you coming around to him and he just got to get out this little habit of going away from the hot hand and just try to put in Taysom Hill or whatnot, just like how to play today. Like we was driving downfield marching, and then he just put in Taysom Hill out of nowhere, and flag happens on the play. Now we got a punt.
I'm not. Don't get me wrong, man. I complain every time I see Taysom go in a game and and they take him out for Tyler. But I get it to a degree. You're trying to remain loyal to a fan favorite and the Saints legend, so to speak, man. There's a part of it that really tries to incorporate Taysom because you're trying to pop that one. It's almost like, remember what Sean used to say, I don't have to see it all the time. I just need to see it. And to be honest with you, all coaches have that problem, man. All coaches outthink the room at some point or another. They try to outsmart they try to outsmart the whole building. It could be 3rd and 1 from the goal line, and instead of you just taking the ball and trying to run it straight up the gut, you do a triple reverse or something like that. All coaches got their quirks. It could be 3rd and 1 on the opposite end. It could be defense, and instead of you going after the quarterback, for some reason they play prevent. You know what I'm saying? It's like everybody does something stupid. So I'm not mad at Kellen for that. I also think, man, it's like it's not a real problem for me, as far as him, his growth, if you will, man. I mean, it was going to take time. This team don't have talent. Like I refuse to believe that when he left Philadelphia, he all of a sudden forgot what the hell it was to coach football. It's just that there's a different in talent level. So I've always said I'm not going to judge Kellen based on nothing this year. Do I think he got his perks? Do some of the things he do piss me off? Absolutely. But I can't judge him until I see him with talent, and that's the one thing the Saints didn't really have coming into 2025. If he's still the same person in 2027, okay, now it's an issue.
Yeah, man, and you touched on them, bro. The team don't have talent. Like even with uh our starters playing, like we still behind the 8 ball when it comes to talent because we don't really have a lot of Pro Bowlers. But
It's
uh Nick Underhill, he was like Saints didn't have wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3, running back 1, running back 2, running back 3, right guard, center, tight end 2, tight end 3. Got hurt in the game, but they didn't. But they did have Tyler Shuck. Stars do stars things. And that was my whole thing when it came to Dennis Allen and Derek Carr. Like we was beating up on teams who just had a sad quarterback, but we were just losing a whole bunch of games. Losing 8 games in a row is just pathetic. And a lot of people was throwing out the injury excuse. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it, bro. Because Kellen Moore, Brandon Staley, Tyler Shuck, they out there getting wins. And Dennis Allen and Derek Carr, they couldn't. So I don't want to hear the injury excuse. Um, if you like the content, go ahead on and hit the like button. If you're up in here, if you're not subscribed, go ahead on and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead on and put y'all questions down in the comment section below. I'm gonna have these guys on here for a little bit longer, so we're gonna try to get y'all questions in orderly fashion. If y'all have a question for B, if y'all have a question for Marlon, put y'all questions down in the comment section. We're gonna get down to it in order. Um, Right now, man, a lot of people are making jokes. A lot of people are making memes. A lot of people are starting to say, man, that boy Mickey Loomis gonna be feeling himself, bro. He gonna be on some. I told y'all, like Lil Boosie daughter. I told y'all. Y'all thought y'all tried to just y'all thought it was over. Y'all thought it was a game, but little do y'all know, I'm making moves around here. Y'all just gotta let it all develop. And right now, you know. He shouldn't have had us in the situation we is in the first place. But at the same time, if we could come up with a good draft, maybe that can redeem some of his mistakes. How you feeling about, a lot of the fan base are, starting to notice that, Mickey Loomis has been getting a few things right as of late, Marlon.
I mean, look, I don't like him. It's hard for me to give him credit. I just want to see the team on the right, like on a good path, and a good path like this. Just don't be reckless with it. This is fine for me. Like, give the fan base some hope. I don't need to see you go out here and go try to sign a bunch of old free agents or a bunch of free agents that won't help the team in 3 or 4 years from now down the line just to chase a division title. I do think they will spend some money, obviously, but I think they need to be smart. They lucked into a lot of shit the last 2 years. No, he wanted to keep Derek Carr. Hell, he wanted to keep Dennis Allen. Um, fate has a faith and destiny saved them from those mistakes, but just continue on the same path you're on. You can be aggressive, but you can be measured as well and smart about it. And they just need to continue being smart. They don't need to be reckless or going all out. And at this point, like right now, I give them they did a good job this year, but they just need to continue to be measured and smart and get lucky too, because a lot of times in football you need luck. and they got very lucky this year because they want to make the bad decision several times, but they didn't make the bad decision.
All right, what about you, B?
I mean, look, bro. Can Mickey go ahead on and pat himself on the back for a good draft class that netted a lot of depth pieces? Absolutely. You found yourself. It looks like two instant starters in Tyler Shuck and Kelvin Banks. Okay, yeah, definitely. He can definitely pat himself on the back for it. As far as his off season with free agents with Justin Reed, I think that's a miss. Chase Young, that's hit. You don't have Gashaw because of injuries, but it still was a good move at the time. So there's a lot of hit and misses with Mickey. The problem I have with Mickey is that a lot of the times when he misses, he pat himself on the back as if like he's the smartest man in the room once he cleans up his mistake. You can't set my house on fire, then run up with a fire extinguisher and put the fire out and want to pat yourself on the back. That's Mickey Loomis too much for me. Like you can't be the reason why my shit on fire and also be the reason why I put out, but you want me to tell you thank you. Well, I wouldn't have had to have the fire put out had you not started it. And that's Mickey Loomis to a T. And I tend not to like that, man. So for me, you take the good with the bad. You might have it's better to be lucky than good when it comes to Mickey, I guess, because I'm not sure if this is sustainable, but I'm gonna ride the wave while it's there. Am I still on the fire Mickey Loomis camp? I knew he was never getting fired, so I never was there. Like why would I sit down and pretend with y'all when I keep telling people for the longest time Mickey Loomis not getting fired? Do I think Mickey Loomis needs to be in a different position? I still do. And to be honest with you, he gonna pat his back, he gonna pound his chest. But do we really know if Mickey Loomis is the reason why the team is in the position that it's in? Like, can we really say, yeah, that was a Mickey Loomis pick? Or was that was Tyler Shuck more of a Kellen Moore thing? Like, I need him. Was it a Jeff Ireland thing? Was it a Kai Harley thing? Mickey take a like for the longest time, people thought Mickey Loomis was really the man behind the madness when it came to those contracts, and it was Kai Harley the whole time. So this could be another one of those situations. Is it Mickey Loomis, or is he just the figurehead?
Yeah. And I think they got the term for that. It's called hero syndrome or hero narcissist or something like that. So, that's probably Mickey Loomis in a nutshell. Y'all get y'all questions down in the comment section below. I'm going to have these guys up here just for a little bit longer. We're going to get to them all in a row. First question, we got Who That Jay Wallace says, how do y'all think next week game will play out? You go first,
I,
Marlon.
I, I could care less, but as long as the Saints win,
What you got, Marlon?
Um, I think the Saints win. I'm gonna pick them to win, but I wouldn't be surprised if they lose. But I'm gonna pick them to win.
Yeah, with this momentum we got right now, especially by it being the Falcons, we played them at home or we played them away.
Nah, we on the
they
road.
playing in Atlanta.
Okay, yeah, especially by it being the Falcons, I think the Saints gonna want to just do that for the Who That Nation and get that win and just in on out the season. I know definitely Cam Jordan gonna be pumped for that game, especially if it's his last game, and I could see a sack or two on Kirk Cousins from a Cam Jordan. Um, who that Jay Wallace again said, do y'all feel like this momentum will translate into next season?
I hope so.
I hope so. I like again, obviously the draft pick is great, but like if you can these wins again, like these are I like these wins because it's a young team and you're trying to build something. Like if these wins was with Dennis Allen and Derek Carr, I'll be pissed. But like these wins with Tyler Shuck and a young coach trying to set his program in, like these are good wins to me. So they can win what 5 straight games and still have a top 10 pick while building positive momentum. Like that's good.
Yeah, you want to establish a culture. You want to have a foundation. You want the fans to have some type of expectations coming into next season, and you want to see the development and the growth of this quarterback QB marriage. And this is everything we can ask for. We're going into the draft. We already got our quarterback. Now we just definitely need to get playmakers, whether it's on the offensive side or the defensive side. And we we just get some blue chip players around on the team that could just help us win this division, because I think when it comes to the division we can have a chance to take it next year if we do draft well. And hopefully everything that we's doing right now we just build off that. But we got Who That Jay Wallace again says, "Are y'all all in on Shuck? Is he our next franchise quarterback?"
I'm not gonna go like franchise to me is like you got a clear cut top 10 guy. I say at this point, I'm done thinking about the draft. Like I don't think about this draft. I don't think about 2026 drafts, 2027. At this point, it's Shuck versus like, are you going in 2 years, are you gonna be worthy of a contract, like a contract extension? So I think that's what we competing with. But he's the guy right now. Like unquestioned. I'm not thinking about a quarterback. I'm thinking about how I can help him, how I can help him succeed and become that guy.
What you got, B?
Uh, I'm all in. The chips all the way in the middle of the table, bro. Like I didn't put the keys on to the call on there. I'm in on it. If it don't turn out well, it don't turn out well. But by the time we figure that out, he'd be going into his second contract. So for me, like I don't foresee a reason why you turn your back on Shuck unless the injury bugs start showing his face again for him, kind of like it did in college. But if he remains healthy, there's no reason to go to another quarterback. I mean, even if it's the age thing, by the time it's an issue 10 years from now, you could have been and put yourself in a position to win several division titles, a couple of conference titles, and maybe even a Super Bowl, in a 10-year span, because it don't take much. The hardest part of the puzzle seems to be figured out, and that's Tyler Shuck. Do you have your quarterback? Yes. Now you build around that. Do you have your wide receiver? Well, you got one of them. You look like you got your franchise, left and right tackle. So build as much as you can around the pieces that you have offensively, and then fill in the blanks as you need to. If that happens, Tyler Shuck, the need for him to be great lessons. Now we can just be good. There's a lot of good quarterbacks in the NFL. They don't really have a lot of great ones, and there's even less elite ones. If Tyler Shuck could just put himself in a consistent category of good QB, the Saints would be better off. If he becomes a great QB, then things change. Because right now, all things considered, they're the best team in the NFC South. This coming Sunday, they'll have a chance to prove that they'll be 4-2 in the division if they can beat Atlanta. So they'll be the best team in the South with the best trajectory moving forward.
Yeah,
If you can
man.
get a couple of Braves going your way, man, they may be the best team in the NFC. If Tyler Shuck, I say this today on Twitter, bro. If Tyler Shuck can make the same leap that Drake May made, the NFC is in trouble.
Yeah, man. You could just be good as long as you got a good coach and you got a good roster around you. I mean, look at the Jaguars and look at the Colts before Daniel Jones went down. So, Young Noah 504 says, "Y'all think Grando getting cut next year?" He also had a question says, "Would y'all pay Alante Taylor?"
Far as Granderson, nah, he's not getting cut. I think he gets traded, but he ain't getting cut. He got trade value because his contract is pretty good bargain. I think you can probably get a fourth for him, maybe. I know I see some Saints fans early in the season talking about, oh, we can trade him for a second. That was never happening. But I do think he got some trade value with his contract. So, but I don't think he gets cut. I think he gets traded potentially. Alante, again, if it's like nickel money, I'm like perfectly fine with it. I don't think that they should pay him outside corner money when he plays in the inside.
All right, what you got, B?
I don't know if Granderson is coming back because it's gonna depend on the money he's looking for. I wouldn't be looking to resign him unless it was for the right price because I don't believe that long term, he's a viable solution. I know Chase tried to give him some credit today and was like, man, without Grando putting pressure on the quarterback from the opposite side, maybe I don't get some of the plays that I made. Yeah, that sounds good. You being a good teammate, Chase, but Granderson has, to me, has regressed since the beginning of the season and really not really living up to the contract he had. Now maybe he just doesn't fit the 3-4 as well as we thought he would, or something like that. Like I don't know, but I mean, it on paper it looked dope to have 2 6'5" defensive ends, slash linebackers rushing the passer. I just don't know if he's that dude for me. And if the Saints can possibly, by any chance, get it like a Arvell Reese, man, I'd send Brando ass packing on the first thing smoking back to Wyoming, wherever the hell he played at, man. Like he'd be gone for me. As far as who do I want in the draft, it's a toss up. It's not even 1 and 1 A. It's whoever's available between Caleb Downs and Arvell Reese. Downs unlocks the defense like no other piece does because that's what Brandon Staley loves. He loves a good Roman free safety that can ball. That's why Derwin James would have been it. The Saints would have had Marcus Williams minus the minus the Minnesota Miracle. The dude was an eraser back there. So that's gonna unlock the Saints defense. If they can get a free safety that can roam, it's over with. On the flip side, if you can't get a Caleb Downs and you get an Arvell Reese, then you got just that much less time as a quarterback to throw the ball. So, because you got him on one end and you got Chase on the other end, depending on what happens with DeMario and Stunner coming back, man, like it could be nightmarish out there for for NFL offenses trying to go up against Arvell Reese and Chase Young. So, I mean, you don't go wrong with either one of those. So for me, I'd rather them draft defense. I believe they can find a wide receiver or somebody in the second round. I believe they can find a running back in the second round. But you're not finding a Caleb Downs or Arbel Reese in the second round. It's just not happening.
Yeah, on to that point, like those are probably my top two, but I don't think we're gonna have a chance at Reese. I like Bain. I think Bain's a good player. I don't think the Saints would take him though, because I don't know. Like I think it's gonna be weird with his position because he kind of looks like a defensive tackle. Like he doesn't look like a 3-4 outside linebacker or like a DN in the NFL to me. Like when I watch him play in college, but I think he's a nice player. I wish we played him today. I wish it was a guy like a Jeffrey Simmons type of defensive tackle in this class. It's just that doesn't exist. It's not
All right, Young Nola 504 says, "Do y'all think we win in the division next year?" It's gonna be the last question I'm gonna take before I let these guys get up out of here. What you think, B?
I think it's too hard to call, man, right now. Do I think that the momentum throws them in a position to look better next year? I do. I think it's going to depend on the schedule. I think it depends on how it plays out. The Saints are potentially looking at an international game in Paris next year. That's the rumor right now that they're supposed to close the deal on that soon. So, is am I saying the Saints can definitely win a division? No, I can't say they'll definitely win. I think that depends on the offseason moves and who remains healthy next year. It's kind of hard to say, yeah, they're gonna win a division if Tyler Shuck gets hurt. Or if they give Olave a bunch of money and then Olave goes down, and now you got to try to figure out who's going to be your wide receiver two or wide receiver one or whatever position you put him in. So I just think it's too much left up to chance to say right now. But I definitely think they should be competing for the division next year. Like they should be in a position to win the NFC South next year, irrelevant to who's on the squad, because we've seen what they've done towards the end of this year. And if they get a third place schedule, that the schedule gonna be kind of aligned much like it is now. Even though we know the opponents, we don't know what time and what day they'll play them on.
Hey, what you
All
had said? Because I had missed you. My everybody's volume had cut out.
The last question I was gonna take from the comment section was, do y'all think the Saints gonna win in the division next year?
I think they could, man. I feel the best about their quarterback. I think Tampa got a lot of questions coming up with like how everything basically went. I don't think Atlanta has a pet to a quarterback unless they like go get like a Malik Willis and it actually hits. Because I don't view Michael Penix like that's like his third ACL tear. I just don't view him as a solution. Um, I don't have any faith in Bryce Young. Like he just had 55 yards passing, 54 in a game, and the Saints are a bad matchup for them. No matter like how like it can either be a good defense or a bad defense. So I don't see it with them. So I feel the best about the quarterback, and this is a QB driven league. And if you have the QB, you most likely have the best chance. So I do think they can win. A fourth place schedule will be very helpful, but hell, they might end up with a second place schedule.
All right, shit. If y'all like the content from this episode, go ahead on and hit the like button. It's free of charge. Go ahead on and subscribe if you're not subscribed already, so you can get notifications when we going live or a episode is about to air. So go ahead on and hit the like button and go ahead on and subscribe. B, I'm gonna go ahead on and let you tell the people where they can follow you at on Twitter, and on top of that, you could give your last thoughts.
Oh man, I'm on Twitter at Battle Rap Bets, all one word. And as far as my last thoughts, man, it's more focused on what could be. I'm anxious to see what happens versus the Falcons, considering that it could be Cam last game, it could be excuse me, Taysom's last game. And I think those two alone, man, they should kind of lead the team into shit. Hell, Demario too. Now that I think about it, it could be a lot of last game for a lot of Saints players. So I'm hoping that they go out there, go to Atlanta, and and really show off and show out, man. That one last time with the momentum of a win rolling into next season. As far as anything else, man, it's just Falcons hate week starts now. So if y'all see me on Twitter cutting up, you know exactly why, because it's about to be one of them type of weeks.
Yeah, bro. This game right here gonna have a whole bunch of anticipation, man. We not in the playoffs. They not in the playoffs. Last game to end out the season, we just riding this high that we haven't had in a long time. I think we won like 3 games for the first time in a row. Well, we
Four,
on a
four.
we won 4, but we won 3 games in the first time in a row since years. Like it's been years ago. So yeah, man, we on the high, bro. Like this new quarterback and coach marriage, bro. That's the exact thing that we needed. Marlon, let me go ahead on and let you have your closing thoughts. If you got any unks of the week, and go ahead on and share your Twitter and where they can follow you at.
Um, I don't really have an uncle of the week this week. I mean, game's still going, so I can't do it all the way yet. But y'all can follow me on Twitter at ITSRAINEYDOE. It's rainy though, and I kind of like I said, I kind of gonna piggyback off B point. I'm just like glad the Saints can ride this high and just hopefully build momentum going into the off season. This will be a big off season because you actually building something. I think that's just like I said, the best part. The draft pick was cool and all at the beginning, but like when you can still get potential top 10 draft pick while building something, it's gonna make it even more worth it. So I'm just glad that they seem to be they got something they can build upon and they have their quarterback for the time being. Like I'm not saying he's just top 5 quarterback, but I'm perfectly fine and comfortable with building with him, and I'm just ready to go forward. You got positive momentum when you got a quarterback. It feel like everybody get along and it just make the whole game go better. Like people interact with each other. Like you got the missing piece. You feel like you got the piece that you just didn't have before. So I'm glad they got that positive momentum going their way.
And fun fact for y'all who didn't know, man, we always talk about the Saints kicking the can down the road, and we kicked this can called Groupie down the road, and he said something about the Saints. He said something along the lines of, "Oh, I'm glad I'm a part of something a team who's really got something to play for or winning like that." And since then, they've been 0-4, and we've been 4-0. So, bravo to Charlie Smith. You know, happy this Saints hate week with the Falcons, and we gonna all just enjoy this. But until next time, man, we out, man. Who that? Thanks for coming on the show, B. Thanks for coming on the show, Marlon. Happy New Year's to y'all fellas. Happy holidays to y'all fellas. And definitely gonna have to get y'all back on the show after the Falcons game, man.
Got you. Y'all
Salute,
boys
fam.
take care, man. Happy
Same
New
to
Year
y'all,
too.
man. Happy New Year, fam.
All right.